without further ado, let's get into the Tottenham update. But before we get into that, only 60% of you watching these videos are subscribed to the channel, so please do go and hit that subscribe button. Really does help us, and we know the We Are Tottenham army is so strong. But let's keep growing that We Are Tottenham army, because it's growing every day, but let's grow it a bit quicker.
And the international break is upon us, people. We need as much growth as we can.
The dreaded international break.
Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. Big up.
But let's start off talking about Randall Kolo Muani, as Jay Harris says that Randall Kolo Muani is seeing a specialist today to learn more about the jaw injury that he suffered in the 2-2 draw with Manchester United. France Football, however, says that Randall Kolo Muani is expected to be out in the region of 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured jaw. If surgery is required, Muani could be out for a number of months.
Oh, man, a number of months.
Yeah.
He could end his career without a Tottenham goal at this rate. It's crazy. I mean, he's ended his loan spell. It's absolutely... Oh, man, if that's true, that is a real spanner in the works for us, because... if that's the case, what do we do? Can we rely on him then? Like, is that going to just completely derail this loan deal he has? I mean, it would be, obviously, but... Well,
we can't rely on him for the next couple of months, that's for sure.
If it's well, you said a number of months, not a couple or a number?
It says, well, the report says a number of months.
A number of months, yes. It could be more than a couple.
Could be, but it could be a couple as well. we don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean? An A number could be.
I guess, I don't know. I think fractured jaws I've seen, I read, could take up to like 8 weeks or so. And so what do we do? Let's say he is out for a couple of months, and we know he obviously hasn't scored a goal yet. For Tottenham.
I saw the physio scout on Twitter did an update on him, and he says that most jaw fractures are 4 to 8 weeks, but multiple fracture sites, if they have multiple fracture sites in the jaw, it could be 2 to 3 months. So they need to know the extent of it.
Yeah, obviously that opens the door for maybe Tel to come into the Champions League squad.
Yeah, so let me just read the rule on that, because it says UEFA rules this season state that clubs can replace a player in the Champions League squad who suffered a long-term injury. So depending on the severity of Kolo Muani's jaw injury, it's possible that he drops out of Spurs' squad for the time being. Muani would be ineligible to return to Spurs' Champions League squad for 60 days pass after his removal, even if he has recovered from the injury sooner than that. Currently, that would put him in line to return for crunch matches versus Borussia Dortmund and Eintracht Frankfurt if he is recovered by then.
Okay, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
To do that. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what the specialists say, but I keep, with all this talk about a new striker, you know, I've always said, look, I'm pretty happy with our striker options if everyone's fit, but they're doing their best to never allow us to see that, because Muani's in the situation he's in, Solanke's in the situation he's in now, so it is very, very worrying. Obviously, the only fit striker we got was Richarlison. He's not exactly firing on all cylinders at the moment. So it is really, really concerning, this update. And again, Frank said after the game, oh, we took him off, but it's nothing too serious. And now we're hearing it could be 2 to 3 months. We heard in July, oh, Solanke's missing the friendly because of his ankle, but it's nothing too serious. And we haven't seen him since, pretty much. And that's already been like 4 months now. So what is going on with our medical team? Obviously, you can't really blame it on them, but it's just very frustrating when we keep hearing minor knock. You know, it's nothing serious, and then 2-3 months out.
Yeah, I mean, it's been happening for years, though, hasn't it? This kind of thing,
especially the last year, you would say.
Yeah, it's just very frustrating. But look, it's an opportunity. You know, we've got to see it as an opportunity for the likes of Tel to step up, for the likes of Dane to step up as well. So that's the only thing that we can look at it right now.
Yeah, but we two of our, you would say, our 2 best strikers are out.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. That's the reality. But
with our 2 best creators out.
Yeah, but there's literally nothing we can do about it right now.
It's just crazy.
All we can do is hope that these players like Tel and Dane Scarlett can step up now.
It's just, how's your luck? How is your luck? We waited a month for him to come back from this dead leg, and now he's got a broken jaw, potentially fractured jaw. Oh,
yeah, it's just madness.
It's just crazy. Let's hope it's not as serious as we're fearing. But knowing Tottenham's luck, it's probably even more serious than we're fearing.
Yeah. Let's move on from Randall. Let's hope that after the specialists see him today, that it's not as bad as maybe it could be.
Get Mason Melia, someone who said.
Yeah, well, he's coming back in January. January the 1st, he's coming in. Let's talk about Mohammed Kudus, because Alistair Gold said today that Mohammed Kudus has not travelled to Ghana on international duty with Ghana. However, these is probably not the words you want to hear right now. But Thomas Frank says he's very confident that Mohammed Kudus will be fit enough to face Arsenal.
So it was just a minor knock, was it? God, at least he didn't say the words minor knock or to that effect just yet. But the fact that he hasn't travelled is also very concerning. He said before the United game he should be available for that game. Or even was it the Copenhagen game he said he should be available. He said he could and should be available. Didn't make it. Hasn't made it for the United game of the weekend. Wasn't even on the bench. So from going to could and should have been available for Copenhagen, missed the 2 games, and now he's not even travelling for international duty. I guess if it's a minor knock, if it is genuinely a minor knock, and he hasn't travelled, that's good. Keep him on ice for a couple of weeks, and hopefully doesn't aggravate anything. But very concerning again. The one thing I would say is we did see him on a social media video after the Copenhagen game. He did seem to be in the ground, and I don't know if he was. We haven't seen him in training, but he was there. So
he was there at the Manchester United game as well.
Yeah,
on the bench.
Wasn't on crutches or anything. So hopefully, that gives merit to it not being too serious. But it's just very concerning when we've heard so often.
It's also a good point in the comments there. Someone makes that Ghana have already qualified, so these games are pretty much dead rubber games. So maybe Ghana just look at it being like, look, just stay back, recover from your injury, even if it's like. If look, you're recovering from an injury right now, so just go and rest and train at Tottenham. You're not really needed here because we're already qualified.
Did he pull out the squad though?
I mean, I'm sure he was called up. The squads was announced like a week or 2 ago, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I never saw a report saying he got called up, but I assume that he would have been.
Still not great though. I mean, it's fine if he's okay and it's just like. Let him recover for 2 weeks. But I really hope he hasn't pulled out because it's more serious.
It's just like, it just goes in line with all the other injury news that we've seen, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, this player's not really injured. He'll be back for the next game. And then you don't see him for another 3 months.
When Tottenham, you've got to see it to believe it.
All right, let's move on to the more anticipated news of Dejan Kulusevski, as Paul O'Keefe has confirmed that Deki is back on the grass training. I don't think he's back on the grass training with the teammates just yet, but it's positive steps that he's back on the grass training.
Yeah, and obviously he's had a very serious knee injury, so I don't expect... you've seen with Dragoshin, he's been with the team, let alone on the grass, for a month now, probably longer, maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's obviously not quite there yet when it comes to actually playing minutes. So Deki's obviously got to go through that whole process. He's had a very, very serious knee injury, but very positive. He's back on the grass. Hopefully he steps up his individual training. And maybe, look, cross your fingers before the new year we can see him, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But that's very, very positive, and we need him right now because everyone's dropping like flies. But look, can't rush him.
No, definitely not. And look, it's a massive. We're desperate for him, Kulusevski. We just need to bolster that forward line and to have someone of Dejan Kulusevski's quality back in the frame. And I think he'll do really well in this kind of system as well.
Do you reckon there's a chance if our strikers aren't fit by the time Deki comes back? We know Ange used Deki sometimes as a number 9. Do you reckon maybe Frank could see him in that kind of position? Yeah,
I don't see why not. Number 9, I think he would fit so well, that kind of inside forward role, the one that's coming into the central areas. I think there's a few roles that Thomas Frank could use him. But yeah, he should be considered for the number 9 for sure. I always liked him there, to be honest.
Yeah, he always played quite well, I thought.
All right, so that is Kulusevski. Let's move on and talk about some potential transfer news. And we're going to talk about Rodrygo once again. As Pajaques say that Tottenham remain interested in signing Real Madrid forward Rodrygo and would be prepared to pay the Spanish club's asking price of 70 million for the Brazilian international.
I mean, if that is our asking price, we should pay it.
There's also been a report from Indicator. I don't know how highly you regard them in terms of a source of news, but they say that... Chelsea have open talks with Real Madrid for a January move.
Can't they just stop signing players? Chelsea, for God's sake. Every time. Look, I doubt there's any truth to it. I don't know if he would be open to Spurs. If he is, and that is the asking price, I think we should pay it, because there's not. Look, we're talking about wingers on the market right now. It's they're difficult to come by. So someone of his ability, his age, his potential, I think we've already seen what he can do in La Liga. I know at the moment he's out of our favour, but I think he's an unbelievable prospect in my opinion. And a chance to get someone like Rodrygo doesn't come around too often. So I think 70 million, I'll jump at the chance to sign him, in my opinion. But
he hasn't scored a goal in his last 29 games.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because I know, but he's been out of favour quite a lot, played on the out position. Also, he's wanting to leave. He's been wanting out for a while. He's always kind of like the third wheel to Mbappe and Vinicius Junior.
But Mbappe's only been there for a year. 2 years now, or was it just a year?
Is this his second season? Yeah.
This is his second season, yeah. So he's only been there for about a year, year and a bit.
And before that, he's always been shunted out to the right, which is not his favoured position. I think whenever he's played on the left, he's been a lot better. And even on the right, he's been quite decent. I remember when they won the Champions League a few years ago, he was very pivotal to that. I really like Rodrygo. I think he's a really good player. I just think sometimes it's right place, right time, and I don't know if Madrid's the right place for him right now.
Yeah. But look, there's probably no truth in it. That's the reality. I think 70 million is a price that probably Spurs could get to as well.
For sure. And if we're looking for a left winger and we're prepared to spend in that ballpark and he's available, it's a no-brainer for me.
Next up, Takefusa Kubo, defensive central, saying Real Madrid are set to benefit from a surprise €30 million windfall, with Tottenham pushing to sign Real Sociedad winger Takefusa Kubo, a player that the Spanish club hold a 50% sell-on clause for. So, I mean, it's a player that we've been linked with for so long. I've kind of thought, like, I don't think we should be going for him, to be honest. I know he's got a lot of talent, but he can't hold down a regular spot in the Sociedad team. His numbers don't really kind of jump out at me and say, this is a guy that's going to take us on to the next level. But I do know the guy's got, unbelievable quality, but can he fit into the Premier League?
Yeah, there's question marks about that. I don't mind him as like a backup maybe to Kudus, but I wouldn't be spending 30 million right now on him. I mean, 30 million is actually not a bad price, but I think we've just got other options. I don't
No, it's not 30 million.
Sorry?
It's not 30 million.
What is it?
60 million.
Oh,
50% of it will be 30 million.
Definitely not then. Let's move on. I think there was a time when I was quite interested in bringing him in, but I just think at the moment it doesn't make sense. And he's not exactly in the position that we need right now anyway.
Yeah. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Bournemouth's Alex Scott, Tottenham boy. Alex Scott. Dean Jones says that Tottenham do remain interested in outstanding Bournemouth star Alex Scott. Spurs were in the market for Scott prior to his 25 million move from Bristol to Bournemouth in the summer of 2023.
Double probably that.
Yeah, probably more than that. But, he's just been called up to the England squad for the first time. The report does state that it's not. They're not looking at him for January. They're looking at him potentially for the summer. I love Alex Scott. I think he's a player of real high quality. Can play the 8, can play the 10. Creative. I think he's got a bit of physicality about him as well. I really like him.
Me too. And I think this season he's really seemed to have brought his game onto another level. I think when he first came to the Premier League, obviously, I think he suffered a bit with the physicality because he kept getting injured a lot of the time. And he really found it tough to stay fit. Although I felt when, he did get the opportunity to kind of cement himself in midfield, he did quite well. But they always preferred, Irola's always kind of preferred Christie and Lewis Cook to him. But definitely over, I would say, the last 6 months, he's really cemented himself. And this year, he's taken his game up to another level. Obviously, there's been a lot of change at Bournemouth over the summer. And it seems as though Alex Scott's just got this opportunity. I know Christie got a big injury. And Scott's kind of grabbed that chance with both hands. Yeah. And now he's getting that recognition in the England squad as well. Goes to show what an unbelievable talent he is. And that, I remember everyone was very excited about him at Bristol. saying Tottenham had to get him, and obviously the pictures of him in the Tottenham shirt, and he's a big Spurs fan, so it really made sense. Unfortunately, we never pushed the button. I think we were linked with him and Wharton, and we didn't go for either in the end. So in hindsight, that's quite frustrating. But yeah, it's going to cost a hefty fee. But I'd be very, very open to bringing someone like Alex Scott to Tottenham.
And as well, it's a player that would, jump at the chance to join his boyhood club that he supported as a kid, like as opposed to like the Eze story and potentially one brewing with Antoine Semenyo, who are Arsenal fans growing up and all that kind of stuff. To have someone that holds Tottenham close to their heart and that really want to play for the club, I think is just an added incentive as well.
I think potentially keep an eye out for maybe Bentancur going and Scott being the replacement.
Yeah, I would welcome that massively. I really would. So that's Alex Scott. That is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all those news stories we have brought you today. We are